Hi everyone! Today we have a new drama. In our drama, a superstar loved by millions, but one crime changed everything. And the sharpest lawyer in town is his huge fan. But before we start, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn notifications. The drama begins with its protagonist Maeng, a brilliant lawyer who has never lost a single case. She takes on a shocking trial defending a tennis player accused of assaulting his teammate, an incident captured on camera. Despite the evidence, she secures his acquittal. This sparks public outrage, with people expressing frustration toward her, while her boss at firm celebrates the victory. The chief prosecutor is left deeply furious. At the office, two colleagues whisper about Mayang's ambition, and that's why she became a partner at such a young age. They say her life is nothing but work. She's like a robot. No love, no family, and even no relationships. Only her career. When Mayang arrives at the office, her colleague asks her to say a few words to the people celebrating her success, but she refuses and says, "I'm really busy." She leaves immediately since her workday has ended. Despite her cold personality, Ma-young secretly loves a famous singer, Ra-ek. She never stops listening to his songs, and whenever he releases a new album, she follows every update obsessively. Later, her friend Jae arrives with dinner. Ma-young talks endlessly about Ra-ek and shows him all photos she posted. Jae teases her, saying she wastes all her money on such silly things, and she snaps back, "Shut up, you don't know anything about love." He calls her an old maid and she replied that love destroyed anything related to logic. She describes Ra-ek as a gentleman whose voice melts the heart. Meanwhile, Ra-ek has a concert, there is massive crowding around him, and a fan bumps into him and makes him fall. So he loses his temper and yells at his assistant for poor organization. He then orders his team to fix his hair and appearance so he can present himself elegantly to the audience. Ra-ek takes the stage, sings, and the crowd becomes extremely excited and fully engaged with him. However, people close to him whisper that if the audience knew his true self, they would never love this crazy man. After finishing a court session, Ma-young runs outside and accidentally bumps into prosecutor Kwak. He's surprised that she doesn't even apologize, so he waits for her outside the restroom, planning to scold her. His colleague asks why he's standing there, and he replies that someone is about to be humiliated. Ma-young comes out after changing her clothes, but he doesn't notice her at all, and she leaves. Jae waits for her outside to take her to Ra-ek's concert. At the same time, an obsessive fan calls Ra-ek and tells him he changed the password to his apartment, mocking him and saying that she knows his new password anyway. She sends him a message saying that she loves him and knows everything about him, which makes Ra-ek extremely anxious. Later, Ra-ek is signing autographs and he notices a fan staring at him in a disturbing way. Another fan demands his phone number, causing a scene. Security escorts her out while she apologizes, saying that she loves him. Suddenly, Ra-ek experiences a strange episode. He hears a loud ringing in his ears and tries to take a sedative, but it falls from his hand. Then Ma-young is heartbroken as she arrived late and missed her chance to get Ra-ek's autograph. She starts crying, and Jae comforts her, asking why she's dressed like that, and she says she's hiding from people so no one knows that the famous lawyer is a fan of the popular singer. Jae tells her that Ra-ek would never notice her anyway, even if she wore a beautiful dress. She's too ordinary. She tells him to stop. She just wanna watch him from afar. Meanwhile, two fans break into Ra-ek's apartment and security kick them out. The next morning, the production company's director is furious at Ra-ek after seeing the video of Ra-ek cursing at the girls who broke him, and his assistant informs him he has dropped to 10th place in the rankings as a result. Ra-ek tells the director that anyone would react the same way if a stranger broke into their home, and the director says as a celebrity, he must control his emotions. Then Ra-ek asks, "So if I'm in pain, I shouldn't even say I'm in pain? When do I live like a normal human?" The director warns that if he continues, he will end up with no one loving him. In another place, Ma-young can't find tickets for Ra-ek's upcoming concert. They are sold out, so she contacts someone to buy them at an exorbitant price. Ra-ek visits a psychiatrist who explains that the ringing in his ears is a sign of a panic attack, and he asks for medication to relieve it. After that, Ra-ek calls his assistant to arrange entering through the back door. Meanwhile, Maeng pays the man for the ticket and Jae records a video. She says, "This is illegal. Turn yourself into the police. I'm a lawyer." So the man runs and they chase him. At the same time, girls spot Ra-ek and chase him. He reaches the back door, but it's locked. Suddenly, Maeng runs into him and he covers her mouth and says, "Please don't scream. I will remove my hand and leave." Then Maeng can't believe she actually met Ra-ek. Later, Ra-ek overhears his ex-bandmate. He talking badly about him. During confrontation, he tells Ra-ek that he's successful not because he's singing, but because he exploits his past and manipulates people's sympathy. So Ra-ek loses control and hits Hee-jung falls to the ground and breaks his arm. An ambulance takes Young away. The next day, Maeng follows Ra-ek's concert news, which was successful as usual, and she's thrilled that she met him. She finds out from fans that he fought with his ex-bandmate, breaking Young's arm, and people are attacking him, saying that he treated them badly and sharing clips of his behavior. But Maeng says that's lie, as she trusts him completely. Then Woo visits Ra-ek and his maid is happy to see him. Ra-ek tells his maid that her work's done for the day and asks her to come back tomorrow. Woo reassures him about Young and tells Ra-ek he should have been gentler. Ra-ek replied that he couldn't stay calm while they were insulting him. Ra-ek then decides to stay with Gold Boy's band as he knows that fans love him for the group, not as a solo artist. The next day he wakes up to find Woo murdered and the housekeeper is in shock. As usual, Maeng checks Ra-ek's news first thing and learns he's accused of murdering Woo, so she immediately goes to the police station to meet him. Maeng introduces herself. "I'm Maeng from Chunwon Law Firm. I'm here to defend you in Woo's murder case." And Ra-ek says, "It's impossible. Woo can be dead. We were planning for the new album." Ra-ek doesn't believe it and breaks down. And Maeng asks if anyone got into his apartment or had issues with him or Woo. Ra-ek remembers the two crazy fans who broke in and attacked him and says they were obsessed and insane. They must have done it. Regretted not having them arrested. Maeng is surprised he talks about his fans like that. Then she meets her colleague who says that he's handling the agency's defense and that she shouldn't be there. She agrees and walks away, still shocked by Ra-ek's words that press is everywhere outside. She falls and remembers being bullied by her classmates at school. Her first meeting with Ra-ek, she was about to end her life, but his song stopped her. She also remembers her father singing to her and Ra-ek giving her a device and headphones to listen to songs. As she grew up, she learned he was in a band and went to his concert. She tells herself she's still alive because of him, and she's sure he would never do something like this. She imagines him by her side and says, "You created me. You must decide if I'm innocent or a killer." And she replies, "I want the real Ra-ek," and remembers his words and says, "It's not my Ra-ek." After that, Ra-ek faces intense pressure from the investigator who wants him to confess to a crime he didn't commit. Maeng then confronts her colleague for giving up on the case and not defending Ra-ek. He explained that the prosecutor comes from the Kwak family, 3 generations of tough prosecutors. They are aiming for politics and are using this case to their gain. So if you win, you'll destroy their family. If you lose, the press will tear you apart, he warns her. People are protesting Ra-ek, shouting that he's a killer who must pay for his crime. He says, "Everyone thinks Ra-ek is a killer, what do we do?" And the director tells them to stay silent until they figure out how to handle the situation. Then a reporter calls the director and sends a photo of the girl who was stalking Ra-ek and suggests she might be involved. After that, Maeng meets Ra-ek and says, "Look me in the eyes. Did you kill Woo or no?" He gets angry and says, "No, I didn't." She recalls Ra-ek's poor acting in the past and thinks it's impossible for him to fake it with such a skill. So she sings "Cheering for the law that protects us." And Ra-ek is confused. She declares that the case will change once she steps in. But she has one condition before signing the contract. If he agrees, she will prove his innocence. Ra-ek then snaps at his assistant. "Where did you find this crazy lawyer? Get someone else." The assistant says there is no one, she's the only one willing to take the case and defend you. He adds, your agency contract will be terminated, so I can't help you anymore. His assistant also thinks Raek actually killed Woo. Then a lawyer comes and tells Raek to claim he did it as he was drunk, he'd get 50 years. Raek says, I didn't kill anyone. The lawyer replies, but all the evidence is stacked against you. Raek snaps back, I'm not admitting to something I didn't do. Anyway, get out. I have my own lawyer. The firm informs Maeng that Raek wants her to defend them. She talks to Jae and says she's taking the case as a lawyer, not as a fan of Raek. Jae insists he's the killer. Everyone believes it. Maeng points out that before the incident, two girls broke into Raek's apartment without permission and he didn't report it to avoid a scandal. She asks him to find those girls. After that, Maeng goes to Raek's apartment, carefully examines the place and wonders who entered this apartment and how did they manage to get in without being seen by the cameras. The prosecutor Kwak arrives and tells her the case is simple and already decided. He adds the suspect is clearly guilty and all the evidence is against Raek. We have confirmed that the housekeeper was not present at the time of the crime and there are no signs of anyone entering the apartment except through the main door. In his view, Raek should confess. It would be better for him. Maeng says we should wait for the investigation results. See you in court, she adds before leaving. Back in her office, her boss storms in furious and says, I won't take responsibility. If you lose this case, Maeng replies confidently, I'll take full responsibility. Don't worry. He asks if she needs help, but she insists on handling the case in her own way, and she tells him don't be afraid of the Kwak family. Maeng then meets the two girls. They deny ever entering Raek's apartment, so she shows them the video footage and tell them this is a serious matter and asks what they'll do if the public finds out the two strangers broke into Raek's apartment so easily. She threatens them and says the press loves scandals like this. Finally, under pressure, the girls confess and explain how they went into his apartment. They keep saying they love him and didn't want to hurt him. Maeng looks at them and says, this isn't love. If you really loved someone, you would never hurt them. Real love means supporting them and truly wishing them happy. Before the court session, Maeng tells Raek to keep his head up and not be afraid. As long as she is by his side, he will be acquitted. She reassures him and asks him to repeat after her. I'm Raek. I didn't kill Woo Sung. In court, Raek repeats her words and Maeng points out that the prosecution claimed no one had entered the apartment, but 2 weeks earlier, two fans had slipped into Raek's apartment without being caught on the cameras. She emphasized that during the investigation, Raek had mentioned searching for something, proved that someone else had been in the apartment looking for something. This shows clearly that the real killer is not Raek. The prosecution has not provided clear proof tying Raek to the crime, so Raek must be released immediately. Then Maeng tells Raek that he's free now and gently asks if there is anyone he trusts to take him home, but Raek has no one. Meanwhile, the media spreads the news of Raek's release, highlighting the truth. The evidence was never enough. In another place, the mysterious girl who watched Raek from afar at the party is closely following the news. On the way, Raek suddenly asks Maeng to stop. A billboard comes into view, his face branded killer. The sight cuts deeper than words. He breaks down. Outside his apartment, memories overwhelm him. Woo's laughter, their jokes, their smiles. He wanders the streets alone, drinking, lost in memories of singing together before fame changed everything. He then collapses. After that, Raek slowly opens his eyes and finds himself in Maeng's house. She stands nearby, smiling gently and says, I'm happy to see you again. Welcome to my home. So our recap ends here. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn notifications. See you in the next recap. Goodbye.